Let's get a little bit more perspective right now. On the ISIS pamphlets justifying slavery and rape and why the militant group released those, for that, I want to bring in Arsalan Iftikhar. He's joining us from Chicago, Illinois, via Skype. He's an international human rights lawyer. He's the senior editor of the Islamic Monthly. And he's the founder of themuslimguy.com. Thanks a lot for being with us, Arsalan.
Thank you, Jim.
You know, when we see this pamphlet that was distributed in Mosul, first of all, is it credible? Do you think that that is really from ISIS?
Well, Jim, I would believe, anything coming out of ISIS. I mean, especially things that are completely against the teachings of Islam. I mean, ISIS has done everything from kill innocent civilians to human trafficking to sex slavery, basically anything that is not only against the teachings of Islam, but any normative modern civilization today. And so I'm not surprised at all that they would come out with this sort of outlandish pamphlet propaganda that, no Islamic scholar in their right mind anywhere around the world would ever endorse.
You, for one, raised your voice in a column recently on the website of your Islamic Monthly. And I just want to bring it out. You think that the media, you think we should all stop calling them the Islamic State and call them the un-Islamic State?
Yeah, the reason I wrote that column, Jim, called the un-Islamic, let's call ISIS the un-Islamic State, is that every time that we call them the Islamic State, we're actually feeding into their narrative, right? We're not only legitimizing them in the eyes of people in the East or people that might have any sort of sympathy with them, but then also we're sending, an inaccurate narrative to the rest of the Western world that ISIS is representative of Islam and Muslims. And so, I think it's really problematic on both ends to, call them the Islamic State. I'll never call them that. It's because they, are operating outside, the mainstream teachings of Islam that 1.7 billion people on earth practice every day.
But give me some insight. Why is it that somebody like this guy in India posing as Shami witness would thrive, would have thousands of followers? I think he had 18,000 followers. It isn't all that many, but all he was doing was aggregating things. He was basically just a cheerleader, the Walter Mitty of militants.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy, Jim. And you know what I like to say about these sort of online jihadis is that they're the worst form of lazy Muslims out there. They don't want to go out there and get an education and help their own societies and, the people in their own countries. They're lazy Muslims that want to essentially think that they can, without any education, any training, any sort of contribution to society, can sit, in their tighty-whities in their mom's basement somewhere on their laptop, be a vanguard for the faith. And, it's not indicative at all of, what the mainstream Muslim community around the world, represents. 5 out of the last 12 Nobel Peace Prize winners, including this year's Malala Yousafzai, are Muslims. And so, when you get into this narrative globally about Islam and Muslims, sadly, we tend to only focus on the violent extremist aspects of it and not the plurality, the majority, the people who win the Nobel Peace Prizes.